This is a tibia internal rotation self-mobilization. We can either use kind of a small TheraBand or a larger loop band. It doesn't matter. If we're using the larger loop band, you just want to make sure that when you wrap that band around, that you're going into internal rotation that way as opposed to the other way, because we're trying to drive internal rotation, right? So you can either use that, and if some people might find that a little bit easier to grip onto, otherwise you can use a smaller loop band. And again, this might be better for some individuals because again, that might increase the diameter and make it even harder to grab a hold of. So we're going to place that band either way, just below the knee joint or at the top of the tibia, and it's giving us some traction here. So we're going to start in a negative shin angle. So what that means is that our shin is behind the ankle bone. So that's a negative shin angle. So in this position here, I've got a little bit more pressure on the outer or the more lateral part of my heel. And we're gonna be slowly moving the knee forward, tracking the knee over the second toe as we twist the tibia into internal rotation. So it'll look like this, nice and slowly. I'm going to twist forward as I bring my knee forward, and then I'm going to untwist on the way back. And what I can feel is I can feel the pressure shift from the outer part of my heel to more of the medial arch, so the base of the big toe and the inner part of the heel as I transition forward. So it doesn't mean that I lose the heel, but that's where the reference feels. So I'm going into dorsiflexion, my foot is pronating here. I internally rotate as that knee comes forward, and I'm putting a decent amount of pressure here. About maybe like a 6, 7 out of 10 is how hard I'm rotating here. And then coming back out to untwist. Now from the side, again, we're starting in that negative shin angle. I'm going to grab a hold over that band. Pressure starts on the outside of the heel. Drive the knee forward as I twist inward. Pressure transitions to the medial or the inner part of the foot. Now, as you progress through this, you can play around with the position of the band. You could lower the band down, do the same thing. And this might feel better for some individuals. If you've got shin splints, this might be a more ideal position. And again, same thing, you can slowly make your way down if you find that that's beneficial. Now, the most common mistake, obviously, in this drill is that knee coming in, but it usually results from the hip hiking out first and then the knee shifting in. So we really want to make sure that for kind of optimal restoration of movement, we've got the hip, knee, ankle all in line as we move through the movement here, right? Untwist, twist forward. Again, nice and controlled movement, feeling that transition of weight, making sure that our hip doesn't kick out excessively, which is then going to put a lot of pressure on the knee. Another option is that this drill can also be done on the floor if it doesn't quite feel right on the hip. Sometimes, remember, the hip level can be too high, so make sure that you're at a bench height, you're at about a 90-degree angle. If you're in too much hip flexion, same thing, that might not feel right. So on the floor, it's the same setup. That back knee, we want it directly below the hip, but we actually want to again start in that slightly negative shin angle, right, with the shin behind the ankle bone, and we're going to do the same thing here in this position. Pressure on the outside, go into dorsiflexion and pronation, reverse the movement.